Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Derpy Dungeons. This is Yaswo, and today we are joined with Sully while we play Baldur's Gate 3. Press R1 and you hold triangle, you lose concentration on whatever you're paying attention to. You don't have to be on
I
anything.
know that.
And now you do.
Beam, moonbeam, la 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 la. On.
Idiots, there will be a moonbeam. I will be Moonbeam. Stick with
Ho
me and you
there,
will die a horrible
Good.
death.
stay thy course a moment to
Radiance of
indulge an
Lathander
old
shine upon
man.
you.
May
I say while
I
casting
inquire
Moonbeam.
if perchance you retain among your traveling companions a man who adheres to the given name of Gale?
Nope, I've never heard of
May
him.
I
Should it be
inquire who is
the nature
inquiring?
of our acquaintance that interests you, well, you may safely classify Gale and I as friends. Should it be the nature of your present interlocutor that you desire to drag from the dark and unknown, I
Hey,
shall be
look, it's
glad
who.
to aid
It's
in
what
your
he wants
quest
to
for
sound like.
illumination and
During
identify
DPO, that's what he
myself
wants
as
to sound like.
Elminster. Elminster Ormar. Now, if this answer satisfies you, let us linger no longer
He
in
could
this
do it.
limbo of indecision,
But Ludlow
but
Drake used
settle
way
on
too
your
much Lingu.
knowledge of the individual I seek.
Yes.
Ever a man of leisure. Would it pain you greatly to assist me along the little voyage I intend to undertake to this aforementioned camp? And I would confirm it to be so. Please, after you.
He allows it to be my pleasure. Did you hear that?
My thanks
I
for your
did, and I'm not in
excellent
camp.
guidance. Ah, and yonder I spy the object of my pursuit.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed
Are you
he
watching my
is, too,
scene?
finding himself
Yes.
forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
I don't understand. How so on my behalf?
I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Bortity washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name, drank naught but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it?
Oh, for the love of...
Fine, fine. I'll turn a deaf ear to the clarion calls with which my scorned stomach beseeches me. Graver matters are at hand. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster!
Right. You see, that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter. I'll speak as plainly as I can, forswearing the accustomed frills that
For
decorate
once.
my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mistra. The message and the charge I
He said
bring
he will
you
speak plainly for
are
once.
hers.
I feel like that's an atheist thing to
Oh,
say. An
Mistra's
actual
delicate
divine
feet
message.
are ill-suited for the hardships of the road.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. And I trust you've told your fellow traveler here the nature of your ills.
I can't say that so far I've volunteered the entire truth.
Do you mean to say you've never bothered to disclose how dangerous you are?
Not in so many words. No.
Then you two have much to discuss after I'll have taken my leave. In short, Gale, through his own doing, has become a living explosive that could wipe from this world this very gathering, and much more besides. For his folly, Mistra forsook him, but now she has decreed he is to be given a chance of redemption.
Mistra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mistra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils.
I don't feel like atheists would say that. Because if he was alone, he would have spells. I feel like number 4 would be a fun one, but I think I'm going to go with number 1.
Okay.
The very purpose of my presence, in a roundabout sort of way. You
Say that
must
my
know
God's here, why is it
that
yours?
the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It
I don't know, that sounds
threatens
like an atheist bragging point.
all
Haha.
who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mistra's belief that only you can.
The orb.
Precisely. That which renders him so dangerous is an orb of Netherese origin that is buried within his chest. And that, Gale, is how we arrive at the heart of my directive. Mistra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
He is not. But it seems that Mistra is.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mistra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the Absolute. And for your sacrifice, you will be redeemed. Such is Mistra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid. Mina hastra mistraril Italion thras annas distra. It is done. Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
See, I want to say the first one, but the second one also makes so much sense that he wouldn't want someone to sacrifice themselves. And I feel like the first one, if I don't make him explode, then I'm not feeling my words.
I have no input here. I'm afraid.
I know I'm just giving my thoughts.
Also,
And I
never
am
fought
refusing
you
to give
together.
mine.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too the sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
Now I gotta talk to Gale. Let's save so that can't crash or something. I don't want to go through all that again.
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I suppose it's time we dealt with the Hollyphant in the room. You have questions for me? And I promise I have answers.
You know what a Hollyphant is?
Ah. Well, that's a rather long and complicated story. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet.
Sorcerer!
Such as my skill earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher.
I'm just waiting for him to think that he's a
In
cleric.
time, she
He still
became
thinks
my
he's
muse. And later, even my lover. Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
Real quick, before you click on one of them. Have you seen all this before?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my
Just letting
ambition
it
was
play
only
out
to
so the
serve her
videos will have the
better.
whole thing.
She only smiled and told me to be contented.
It's not why I asked.
Conceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
Go ahead
Very
and
well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. And his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms, until the day Mystra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess?
Really
The
like the
answer
last
was to
one.
try. And the outcome was to fail. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in, into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. How gods is it ever hungry?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. Fortunately, this need no longer be a concern. Not until I meet the heart of the Absolute, whatever that is.
So I'm guessing now that means I don't have to give him any more magic items.
Correct.
Pause.
Also, did you understand all that?
I mean, yeah, a fair bit.
Okay.
There's Karsus. I mean, I'm guessing, like, I know he's talking about Karsus Folly. He's basically saying that I'm just curious how a random prodigy, whatever, beside the point, normal mortal, all of a sudden learns there's a piece of the weave that's not connected to her. I guess it's just storyline stuff, of course, but, you know, it's random.
See, I honestly think he was a sorcerer. This is headcanon. I don't know if anybody out there believes the same as me. Anywhere on the internet. I'm sure there is. It's the internet. But this is headcanon. I think he's a sorcerer. I don't think he's a wizard. I think when the Netherese magic went into him, it sucked away his natural abilities, his sorcerer levels. And so he became a wizard after that, with all the magic he had studied. And so that's why he had to start at level 1 again.
Yeah?
But again, that's headcanon, so I don't know.
I'll save so we don't have to deal with all that exposition again. Go back to the Underdark, to the Forge. Yes, the
I
answer
would
is
suggest
yes.
it. I would suggest it, yes. I'm sorry, I was thinking.
I saw y'all disappear before I did, so you know.
I had already
It
clicked to
says
go.
one or more.
I had already clicked to go out of camp.
This piece. Okay, well, I'm in camp, but my thing just said that someone declined teleporting there.
I thought I was teleporting there because I walked forward a couple steps. Is this you venturing forth?
Yes.
Gotta make sure, bro, because I was not in the correct area. You
Yeah,
understand?
we were just still.
I was where we talked to Elminster for at first.
Yeah.
I walked forward a couple steps and it popped up saying, "Do you want to venture forward?" So I said no. I'm like, shit, I didn't mean to actually activate that.
You know, this is because I was going back to the Grim Forge, which means I'm leaving the crash area, which fast travel thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I,
Okay.
yeah, because you know it makes you end the day or whatever, or go through a different day, because you see Astarian's fully healed again. So I don't need a hard save again, right? Because we just did all this.
Right.
On to back two.
Loading times. I really hate them, but they give really good tips. Loading times. It says that's
When
at
does it just say the same thing 500 times?
100%, but it sits there for several minutes, saying it's done, but it keeps loading. What'd you say?
I said sometimes it tells you the same tip 500 times. Exposition.
So anytime you don't go to the creche, Elminster will be standing here.
Okay. That way you can't go to Act 2 without having that ability.
I mean, technically you can still ignore him, and then he'll just show up at your
Pray
camp.
sides to the darkness, that blessed Shah may give us her mercy.
So this is another one of those times where we should probably bring Shadowheart in. So I'm gonna go to camp real quick and grab her.
Okay, and then this trunk is locked, but I'm curious what's in it.
I'm glad you said something because that means I need to steal all of Astarian's lockpicks. Which isn't really that many. Did you buy that? Did you buy the armor for him?
No.
Okay,
Told
I
me
guess
what he had on was better.
I said it had higher armor class, but we can. I tried to buy it and you told me not to. That you would pick it up, and then you talked to her. I thought you bought it.
I'm gonna go back one more time. I just saved after the other. I think I got confused because I thought you said it was lower armor class or your dex was higher, this and that. So I looked at it as you saying you didn't need it. But I can go backwards real quick. I mean, we didn't do
It's
much.
not worth it.
Literally saved right after.
It's not worth it.
We left right after Elminster went and did everything. No. Oh yeah, I have two spider liars. It's like we got one from near and
So
one
Gale's
from
been walking around this whole time with some sort of magic bomb in his
Minthara.
chest.
So we have
I
two
don't
of them.
normally want to divulge some
Yeah.
of their
Exact thing.
secrets, but
Because
that's something I should know.
one way is going through the Underdark. Well, no, they're both from going through the Underdark. I don't know. If you're playing an evil playthrough and you're going through the Underdark, the only way to get that leer is to side with one of them two.
Yeah. He says you're talking to someone.
It
Because I
seems like
am.
you have ample company already.
I said I was
Lead
going
the
to
way
camp to
then.
get Shadowheart.
I know.
It's been a day, Scratch.
Aww, she's petting Scratch. That was cute.
Does that a lot. It's good.
What am I to do?
Nice.
I've got a long road ahead.
She wants to talk. Throw her in your inventory.
All right, 1 second.
I mean, I could talk to her if you want me to. That's fine.
No, I'm just finishing up the camp. I'm at 240 pounds out of 400, so trying not to
With a flick of the wrist.
have kind of stop everything.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important. I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending
like how we
precious
wait
moments
this long
trying
to
to
bring this
free
up,
me, but
okay.
you did it anyway. I owe you my life. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have.
Yay, I can turn her
I
away
want
from
that to
Char.
mean something. I want you to know
Bringing
more
people
about
towards the
me,
light.
at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shar, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shar, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shar's enclave in Baldur's Gate.
Still don't know whether
Sometimes
they're
I
in car
wonder
life
if
or
she
not
would
because of
ever
everything else.
deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she
Shut up,
can
Shadow
prove
Heart.
inscrutable.
Oh, that was a load of nothing. I'm not sure why you bothered to tell me that.
Thank you. I had a feeling you'd be understanding.
Oh, I didn't say I agreed. I just said thank you for sharing. Hey, maybe I can still romance Shadow. Carlac, because look, the third option there for her. I may have one for Carlac too.
I doubt it, but you
So
can
I'm gonna look
try.
and see. If not, then I'll know to go with.
Soldier.
Oh, all it says is you need to stay behind the camp for now.
I see that.
Guess I'll romance Shadowheart.
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. I think I know what you mean. There's an undeniable rapport, and yet we haven't made time for each other. Time alone. Easily remedied, if you like. I know a place. Well, perhaps easy isn't quite the right word. We'll have to retrace our steps back out of the Shadow Curse. I'd like to get to know you better without worrying about hazardous surroundings. If it's all the same.
What do you think?
Go for it. If that's what you want.
I don't think I'm going to keep going backwards, but I'd like for him to have a romance, so...
I mean, we already talked about going backwards for one thing anyway.
That
Okay.
should do nicely.
And if this is the case, that means you can give
Be
me
worth the
Karlach and you'll
trek
take Shadowheart.
We can go in your own time, but let's be careful to not advance too far forwards.
Yeah, that's fine. I
hate
mean,
for
it's not
us
like
to
I get
miss
the
our
romance here,
chance
so...
because events took a turn.
It was a perfect match. We were both tieflings and everything.
You already know my biggest secret.
And you're saying I'm
What
not.
can you ask? What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced?
Well, you didn't say them either,
Well,
so I don't see how you
like
could.
night orchids and can't
Unless
swim.
that's how it would work.
Is that the sort of thing you meant?
Oh,
It's a deal.
second player can't romance anybody, as far as I know. Only the main character can romance.
Go back to Fresh Yellick or what?
No one back home will ever believe this.
Alright guys, we're going to end the video here. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. You have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.